Welcome, Earth signs, to your reading for February 2019. This is a general reading for all Earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising. This channel is called The Witching Hour. My name's Michelle, and I'm a witch. Burning some white sage for us. The energy I'm picking up on as I'm burning the sage, which is a recent development to be scrying with this smoke, but that's what's been happening, is I'm getting a nice, calm, peaceful feeling, and I'm getting that you are on, I don't want to say threshold. It's not a threshold. It's like on the cutting edge or the edge of something, and what it is like an energetic shift. You're on the edge of an energetic shift of spirit helping you to remain in the present moment in a state of calm and peaceful trust of the universe. That's what I'm feeling. And it's a nice energy. This is an integrated reading for all three earth signs, but I will read them separately. First will be Taurus, then Virgo, then Capricorn. And I will integrate all three at the end and do an overall earth reading. So watch the whole thing because you'll get a bigger picture. So the deck I'm using is called Sacred Circle Tarot. It is created by Anna Franklin and Paul Mason. Created and illustrated. I'm going to use our, oh dear, it fell. My evocation of earth, it fell down. I know the last bit by heart, so I'm going to begin. I evoke the elements of earth, air, fire, water, and spirit. To this reading, I invite and greet the guardians of north, east, south, and west. I invite the divine and all our allies in spirit to give us a clear view and perspective, spiritual perspective of this reading in our lives. Clear view of love, security, and freedom. And I ask for divine wisdom, discernment, and guidance for this reading. And they're ready. Okay. Mountain and dust, footstep and stone, earth, I call thee hence. As I said during the evocation, this will cover the area of love, security, and freedom. I will clarify, if necessary, I'll clarify with the mini Hanson Roberts tarot, which is this one. Little teeny tiny mini deck, Hanson Roberts. And at the end of each row, I'm going to offer a spirit card from Witch's Wisdom Oracle. That is created by Barbara Michael John Free and Flavia Kate Peters, and it is illustrated by Richard Crooks. The cards are cut, and we are ready to go. Ready to rock and roll, earth signs. Ready to rock and roll. I think you're feeling ready to rock and roll. That's my feeling. But that peace and calm is really coming up through the energy of the cards and the sage. And I just feel that spirit is helping us all to remain calm, integrated, peaceful, healed, helping us cultivate trust for the universe. That's what's happening. I just feel unequivocally that that's what's going on. The underlying energy for the sign of Taurus is fluctuation. So no wonder you need the stability. I felt also it was the energy of air coming through to help with the peace. So meditation and getting out in the fresh air, going physically to places where there is fresh air moving, like near a shoreline or wherever it is that resonates for you, but where the air is moving and it helps to kind of lift and cleanse your spirit. And that to me is what's going on. And I feel that Taurus is stabilizing its energy. And that's why it says fluctuation, because it goes back and forth between one extreme and the other in some degrees, but it's more like you can see both. You have an integrated view and approach of things right now. So in the area of love, Taurus, you have the Lord. You have a lot of masculine love energy here. And that is a badger. That's the first thing I'm noticing is the badger. That is a badass, mean little animal. Doesn't need to be bigger and stronger and taller to overpower anyone. It goes up and underneath. So, and they literally eviscerate other animals. But behind him is the stag. And he's wearing the horns and this crystal with illumination on it. You see in his right hand. And I'm seeing him holding his cloak, and it's like he's holding his composure, is what I'm feeling. There isn't this overriding or overpowering masculine energy in love. It's more fierce than it is overpowering. It's strong. I feel this is helping you in this fluctuation. It's helping you stay rooted and grounded. If you see these two of discs, rooted and grounded. Yep. I think you're stabilizing. That's what's happening. You're on the cusp of stabilizing your life, your whole life as a whole. And you're getting the divine masculine. Channeling through someone or channeling, I'm feeling it channeling through something specific in your life. In the area of love. I'm feeling the word solidarity. You're feeling... It's like your true tribe is revealing itself to you naturally without you having to try. I feel like it's important that you don't try, but that you hone in on your own energy into the emotions of what it is, what it feels like to you, what you need, like what that feels like. Identifying what you need through your emotions. Like if you feel insecure, you can feel it in your body. If that's something you're honing in on, which has to do with trust, then you know what you need is loyalty. Someone you can rely upon, someone you can trust, someone who will be there for you, someone who has your back, that type of feeling. This protective energy, you're being surrounded by it. The divine is giving that to you. I just noticed the butterflies, unless they're moths. I have to look it up if I feel I should. The rabbit too. I feel this is a transformational time. That's why I'm saying it's like the on the cusp. It's almost like it's almost like the death card. That moth or butterfly, the transformational stage of going from one way of being to another way of being. I just see it turning like that, like a hinge pin. And Taurus, in the area of security, you have bondage, the 8 of Swords. This is when you feel or you think you're waiting for the exit, is what I'm getting. You're waiting for the exit to open up. You're waiting and wanting to go at the same time. I did sense when I was doing the sage that there was a feeling of impatience. And that is part of the fluctuation in what Spirit is cultivating right now, which is that calm trust. But there's this feeling of, impatience. But as long I feel that this love and this divine masculine support is keeping you rooted and helping you stand your ground or be more rooted and grounded in your feeling of trust and security. So that in terms of physical security in your life, your food, clothing, shelter, and something meaningful to do, your meaningful work to do. This is where I feel, this is the message I was getting earlier. and it's popping out now with this card, is that when we are asked about what we do, we give that masculine energy answer. You know, the question itself poses this masculine energy, which is fine, but it lacks the balance of the feminine, and it fluctuates, keeps us not feeling very stable. Is, you know, when someone asks you, what do you do? And when we think of our spiritual gifts in terms of doing something, as opposed to interacting with our spiritual gifts, that we, and I don't mean spiritual as in prayer or meditation only. I'm talking about the physical things we do, the meaningful work we do, to either earn our living or as a hobby or a pastime or whatever, but it's meaningful. It's our soul's calling. So it might not be your bread and butter, but it might be like something vitally important to you to do on at least a daily or weekly basis, whatever that is for you personally. That when we're asked, what do you do? Like, what's your thing? What do you love? And when it's put that way, or we have it in our minds as that being the question, what do you do? What do I do really? I mean, I don't do really anything, you know. We don't feel that we have the appropriate label on our souls, you know. We can't identify ourselves by what we do. And that's because the feminine perspective is missing from that question. So this is what this card is offering to us. It's helping us regain a perspective that helps us feel less trapped. So the next time someone asks you, or you ask yourself, what do I do? You know, what's my thing? It's more, instead of what you do, think about it in terms of, what does my favorite thing give to me? What does it give to me? What do I receive from it? How does it nurture me? Think of that first. Think of the reception, the receptivity of what you love to do first, and then think about what you do with it. Think of it in terms of receiving first and how emotionally satisfying it is. And think of it in terms of being emotionally satisfying for you personally first and foremost. Then that's the feminine. Then what you do with it, it mutates into masculine energy, which is, oh, I feel inspired to do something with this. Even if it's just to write something down. It doesn't have to be that you make a career out of it or anything like that, or come out with some kind of finished product that you have to show the world. It has to be personally satisfying first and foremost. It has to be meaningful for you. And that way it will take root, it will take hold. In your mind especially. It's like, I have all this stuff, but I don't know what to do with it. I have all this stuff inside of me, but I don't know what to do with it. Receive it first and enjoy it. Appreciate it and enjoy it. And then you'll be inspired with what to do with it. And then you'll see it grow exponentially. Make it your first goal for whatever it is you do to be emotionally satisfying for you. And that's kind of a no-brainer in a sense. We all do our hobbies and stuff because we like to. And there's no other understanding needed for that, right? But when it gets tied up with giving ourselves some sense of identity in the world or purpose, then it gets more too, like, so important that we have to figure it out, and there's this sense of responsibility attached to it, and we feel pressured. We put a lot of pressure on ourselves to do something, you know, hurry, do something, you know, and it's like, wait a minute, I'm going to enjoy this, appreciate it, enjoy it, make a mental note, writing it down in a gratitude journal of sorts, that type of thing, where you can see how grateful you are for it, and let it be just that for a time, and then give it to the world or to others, whoever you want to share it with, even if it's only for yourself. So that's that card. That was kind of a bit lengthy, but that's what's going on with that energy. And I think it's important that we work through that right now, because it ties in a lot with that feeling of instability and inability to trust the universe. It's like we feel like we owe the universe something, when maybe we're just a little bit out of practice in receiving. And that's all it is. And once we practice that again and we integrate the two, which is what fluctuation is, it needs integration, then it feels better. And so then for freedom, we have the Ace of Cups. So it's like one thing feeds the other. The masculine, the divine masculine, helps remind us in our thoughts to receive in the feminine way. Because if we have this trustworthy energy kind of holding us up underneath, we feel more secure. And when we feel more secure in the area of security in our physical life, these thoughts aren't bothering us anymore. We don't feel so trapped. We don't feel so snowed in mentally. Like, what am I going to do? You know, what's my life calling? It's like, just appreciate and enjoy the things you love and allow them to be a gift that you receive for yourself. And then you're going to feel connected to spirit and yourself. The Ace of Cups in this deck is described as spirituality. So it's like the main, what I was just reading this morning is the chalice is used that whatever is contained within it becomes sanctified, like the Holy Grail. And then whoever partakes of it and drinks of it, drinks of nurturing unconditional love. So here's the feminine. This is the womb. So we have the masculine and the feminine meeting one another. I don't think that needs any more clarification, but what I'm going to draw for you now, Taurus, is a spirit card. Oh no, I'm going to do that at the end. The spirit card that will kind of bring it all together and point the way towards the final outcome of meditating upon this and putting it into practical use and putting it towards mindful practice of receiving first and then giving to the world, to your own world. Give it to your personal world first and then the world at large. That's what I'm getting. So for Virgo, I hope that helped you, Taurus. Come back because we're going to do the spirit card at the end and we're going to integrate the whole reading. So when you're listening to Virgo's reading, Taurus and Capricorn, if you're there right now, listen to all three because they're going to be, all the elements of each sign is going to be integrated. And these are for Earth placements in our natal charts that can be Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Jupiter, and so many other things, so many other placements. So keep that in mind. The underlying energy for Virgo, which is just what Taurus needs to borrow, right? And Virgo will give to the zodiac wheel and Taurus will receive, is this, the Four of Wands, development. This is stability. This is the marriage card, the commitment card, the card of the twin flame, you know, the 1111. So this is about having your soul's purpose intact and underlying the energy of what you do. There's that security there already that Virgo is feeling and can offer. The energy of Virgo can offer it to all the signs. So pay attention to all three. In the area of love, okay, so in the area of love, Virgo gets the lady. And what did Taurus get? The Lord. They're the counterparts in love. Virgo is working out this energy in the divine feminine. She is receiving. And Virgo is the maiden, the virgin. This is about coming to terms with our sexuality, our sensuality, our appeal to ourselves, our nourishment, our physical and sexual or sensual nourishment, and how that feeds our soul, how it clears our minds, and it gives us clarity about what we want to be doing. What do I want to do? Not what should I do, but what do I want to do? What do I want to do? And I feel also that goes up with Taurus. Taurus is kind of like waiting for the key to unlock the door. And I think Virgo energy has it. So it's the feminine. It's the feminine energy of love and self-love and giving that love to another. So it's about giving and receiving, self-love and giving and receiving the divine masculine and feminine energy of love back and forth. There's like no question about it, and it has to materialize. It has to materialize and heal heal us, and then it will create this development, this foundation, this marriage or union of sorts. There's like a union, a divine union of spirit coming to the physical world for us. In the area of security, Virgo has the Chariot. So it's like winner, winner, chicken dinner. Where Taurus has the energy of working through a binding mindset, Virgo is offering to the wheel of the zodiac the Chariot, the breaking free, the breaking free, the balance, the yin and yang. But this is masculine and feminine as well. So it's got power. There's power in this. There's power in receiving, not just giving. There's power in receiving. It gives you your power. So Virgo is living this out right now and giving it to the zodiac. She's receiving, and it empowers her, and she gives it out. And that's what it's like. Taurus is receiving what they usually give, which is that stability, that rock solid stability. Now it's their turn to receive and Virgo's turn to give, but she's giving from a place of receiving, if that makes sense. It's empowering. And that's insecurity. I'm also picking up like job, car, moving, like you're moving house. You know, you're moving house. Even people who are, I keep getting, I'm not kidding, I keep getting moving back in with your mother. Somebody's moving back in with their mother. Yeah. And it's very soon, this movement, something is coming, Virgo. Something's coming. And I feel the movement in Taurus's reading too, the stabilization. I feel it, the security. There's a lot of security in your line of energy, Taurus. And there's a lot of movement in the air, in the line of Virgo's energy. A lot of movement. Interesting. Which is funny because Taurus, yours is fluctuation. And Virgo, yours is stability. So, and yet Taurus, I feel the stability happening. It's like it's manifesting. So Taurus, your stability is in fact manifesting right now through receiving in the feminine way. Virgo, your energy is moving. That masculine going out energy because you've received in the feminine, you're giving. So it's like if there aren't some Virgo Taurus couples out here, I don't know what, or you have both Taurus and Virgo in your chart. There's movement here for Virgo. There is movement. And in the area of freedom, we have the Seven of Discs. This is my Field of Dreams card. This requires patience, and the Chariot has movement, and I feel when I put them together, prudence is about being somewhat conservative or knowing which phase to go through, and that's where I feel the impatience. But I feel that you'll carry it through successfully, Virgo. You'll be able to go through all of these steps to allow the process to nurture you in the month of February. I feel that there's something about divine timing. If you see the rock structure and the moon is shining exactly right through it here, right there. Field of Dreams is, you know, the movie, and it's based on the book called Shoeless Joe by W.P. Kinsella. And the movie is called Field of Dreams, and it stars Kevin Costner. And it's like he had to wait through each stage of development. He had to, you know, like any farmer would. He was deconstructing his farm. But if you're building a farm, it's, you know, prepping the soil, planting the seeds, watching them grow, thinning them out, weeding them, putting them back in their rows, stabilizing them, watching them grow, just waiting, watering, fertilizing, just waiting and watching them. And then your harvest. But then it goes from harvest to table. You prep the food, you preserve the food, you put it on the table, you harvest seeds from it first and foremost for your next planting season. It's like you're constantly thinking of just the next step ahead in executing the next step. And not saying, okay, I'm buying my packet of seeds. I can't wait to eat this watermelon. And going from A to Z. However, there's something about the timing. There's something going on with the timing, Virgo. It's like the through the eye of a needle is what I'm getting. Through the eye of a needle, it's like something goes through that is like precise. It's very precise. Something happens that's very precise. It's like, I don't know that we're humanly capable of making something like this happen in our lives in such a precise, channeled way. But when we see it, it's like you'll know. It's like, oh wow, that was the universe doing this for me. It's gonna stand out to you as being very precise and giving you a very specific course of action or plan of action. Next, the next step is it's gonna come fast. Do you know what I mean? Not in a rushed, panicked way, but in a boom. There you go. It's like, and you typically don't experience that with certain things that take a long time, but you're going to get the next step quickly, if that makes sense. Okay? So on to Capricorn. Capricorn's energy is the Queen of Discs. The Queen of Discs. So more feminine energy, but in that solid masculine generosity, if that makes sense. And her description is expression. So that's really cool. Because while the Lady and the Lord is about abundance and protection, hers is expression. It's manifesting. Something is manifesting here. We're all these earth signs are contributing to one another on the wheel of the zodiac. We're all one and we're integrated. And Capricorn, yours is very beautiful and it's very strong. It's very certain, determined, like to sit there and hold this very strong, determined energy and to wait. You know, this feeling of strength. And what you have in the love department is change, Knight of Swords. So this is talking about chivalry, out and out chivalry. Whether you are holding this energy, Capricorn, for another female, for a female, or you are the female and you're holding this energy and someone is coming through and charging towards you or for you on your behalf. But there's change, like the winds of change are blowing. And it has to do with a matter of integrity, is what I'm picking up on. The sky, see the stormy clouds and the stormy sky? It's like, this is like springtime. And the energy of air and swords is directly indicative of spring and air. And the color yellow. So, it's the season is turning. The season is, in fact, turning right now as we speak. There's a change coming. Yeah, it's like April showers bring May flowers, but it's like a storm. You know how we get those windy rains in the early spring? Windy rains, wind blowing, and then the rainbow comes and all of that. It's like, this doesn't feel doom and gloom at all. This isn't foreboding, but it's like, it's looming overhead. It's moving. It's moving. There's that same movement as in Virgos. And I think Taurus is bringing the spiritual movement, the connection, that love, that Ace of Cups. Taurus is bringing that and embodying it. So it's the emotional movement, the action movement, and the mental and cognitive movement, the recognition of something changing, seeing it happen before your eyes. It's like You will get like signs importance in the sky. In other words, if you were to look at the sky or look at the atmosphere of your life, you're going to go, oh, something feels like it's going to change. I feel like it's, and it feels positive to me. The feeling I'm getting off of the card is that it's positive. Some of you may have two friends who are hearing a message or receiving assistance or a message from someone, a third person coming to you with this message about change. It's going to happen. It's happening. And for you, Capricorn, in the area of security, you have the card of the web, which is about karma. This is also depicted as the Wheel of Fortune in tarot, in the sense that things will be changing or coming back around, but it's not the same as the Wheel of Fortune in terms of fortune. This is more about karma, and yes, fortune changing, but not in the same way as the wheel is in this deck. The wheel in this deck does not match necessarily the wheel in the regular tarot. This is more like the Wheel of Fortune in regular tarot. The wheel in this deck is more about the wheel of the year, the passing of time. This one is more about karma and things changing for the better. And what did you put out there? It's coming back around. It's happening right now. It is, and you're going to see it reflected in your physical world. The physical changes that you've been wanting to see, you're going to perceive them before they happen. They're happening now. The signs are happening now. The changes are happening now. You could be involved in creating this change for other people, is what I'm feeling. A major change, a life-changing change. Something that Virgo is cultivating, like she's going through the steps. Taurus is getting like a direct line from Spirit, creating their changes. Capricorn is helping other people change, and their energy for freedom is rivalry, 7 of Wands. So there's a lot of masculine energy here. So let me see. So Virgo has 7 of discs. Capricorn, you have 7 of Wands. And then the Chariot for Virgo is the number 7. Taurus is, I think there's some cleverness in Taurus's energy. You're figuring out that the formula is to remove something from the scheme of things in your life that's going to make it easier, an easier passage for you to get to the next step and make that direct line to Spirit. It's almost as if Taurus, on some level, however it places in your charts, there's going to be something, instead of added, it's going to be removed. And that's going to help you move forward. And Virgo, it's more like waiting for some things to transpire while pushing forward on other things. Self-assertion. Capricorn is more like watching the changes going around, helping others create change in their lives. But there's this rivalry card. Rivalry. I think, oh, what I just got was you're helping to settle the score. Okay. So Capricorn, you might be playing middleman for someone. That's what I'm getting. Arbitrator, or yes, you're helping settle the score. It's not moving from that statement, is what Spirit is saying. So you're going to help karmically help put things back in balance for the wheel of the zodiac. For other earth signs, and you're doing it with a fire energy. So you're doing it with your action. You're doing it with standing up in your own truth, Capricorn. And standing in your own truth, and just speaking the truth, that's what's going to change the perception, is what I'm getting. You're going to change the perception of the people around you. You're going to create stability. This is also Virgo, Queen of Discs. But Virgo is like, I'm the goddess. Do you see what I mean? It's like you might think, if there's a Capricorn watching and you're involved with a Virgo, or you have Virgo in your chart, you might be getting this overall message that there's more to this person than meets your perception. There's more to them. There's more power to them, and you're helping settle the score. In you thinking you're helping another person, what you're doing is creating dharma, and you're serving the goddess and the god, because they're connected. Remember, the Lord and the lady are connected through Taurus and Virgo, and Capricorn is championing someone's cause by standing in their truth, by being almost on the defensive a little bit, but in a way that's very strong and not defensive. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? It's kind of like that Lord card with Taurus. It's like you're fierce, but not necessarily acting out in anger. You're just fierce, strong, standing still, standing firm, rooted. And you're not just giving to people. This web card is you're not just giving to the world, to people specifically, you're giving to the world at large, because this energy that you give is going to come back around to you. So it's like you have to choose what it's going to be for you in terms of, how am I going to settle this score? How am I going to do this? There's some kind of justice here going on with you, Capricorn. There's some kind of justice going on. You're setting something right. You're setting something straight, setting something right. I feel like it's just a matter of holding your integrity, collecting. It's like, I see like a gathering of energy, getting all the components together. But I feel like it's more of a thought process of you kind of taking stock, which is what the Seven of Discs means. You're taking stock, evaluating, what's the word? Like an inventory. It's an evaluation, if that makes sense. So the overall underlying energy for which is wisdom is responsibility. The outcome for Taurus is Watchtower of the North, which is a transition. It's a transition, creating a change from that inner magic within. Virgo's energy is the Watchtower of Spring. These are both like major heavy hitting cards. Spring, new life is coming. It's happening. And for Capricorn, you have cleansing, which is beautiful. So it's like those spring rains is what I'm getting. The ice is thawing. The snow is melting. The spring rains and winds are coming. And it's like clearing everything out. And new life and new world for everybody. I hope you all liked that. If you'd like to connect with me for personal reading, links are in the drop-down box below. Until we meet again, Earth signs, from my soul to yours, much love and brightest blessings.